My name is Yashna, singer-songwriter from Durban, born, raised and based in Durban. And I've been in Melbourne ever since. I schooled there. I actually started schooling in Bluff at Our Lady of Natal, but they actually only ended at grade 3, so I had no choice but to move to a school closer. So I went to Melbourne Primary, went to Queensborough Girls thereafter. I studied for a while at Durban University. I'm lying. University of KwaZulu-Natal. What is this life? No, University of KwaZulu-Natal, UKZN. First, I started actually studying performance studies and drama, and then somewhere along the line, I kind of swallowed my passion and went for a solid backup plan. And so I studied psychology. I completed my degree. I got an honors degree in industrial psychology, and I worked for a while, but throughout the constant has been music. Now I'm fully in. So as you can see by the color of my skin, Yashna is Indian, and I'm pretty sure, the stigma that surrounds Indian people is like doctors, lawyers, all that jazz. And I kind of stood out like a sore thumb because in my family, everyone was studying towards like optometry or a doctor, and I was this passionate singer. So I actually didn't care what people thought. I just always knew in my heart there was this burning desire as a creative, whether it was dancing, acting, or singing. So throughout my career, there was always a certain art aspect, and my mom was very supportive, I'll say that, although she was in my ear with regards to the solid backup plan, hence why I'm sitting with an honors degree but not utilizing it. She was always supportive of it, but always wanted, I think any parent would want the best for their kid, in the sense that they'd want them to have something to fall back on. So I'm grateful for that. And so throughout, I always pursued music on the side. I think when it got to university, I was like, okay, maybe dance and acting can take a break for now, but I'm going to focus fully on music. And so I started taking voice lessons and kind of growing or pursuing the music thing. And she's been behind me since then. And it just seemed to have developed and grown in the music thing. And she's super proud now. Obviously, with parents, they love seeing results, even though we know it takes time. So now that the results are kind of blooming, she's way more like what's another word? I can't say embracing. Way more. She embraces it more. Yeah, for English. So, since I'm Christian, this thing called this calling, where in your spirit you have this calling. And so I was an academic in school, so I'd always attend these prize givings. And there wasn't anyone to push you join the choir or whatever. So I never really felt the need to. But when it would come to these prize giving events and I'd watch the choir sing, I'd have goosebumps, I would tear up, and something would happen on the inside. And at that point, I didn't know. I knew I liked singing. At home, they'd be like, "Shut up, Yashna! Can you just stop?" Because obviously, I wasn't fully in my voice at that time. But I just always sing. I didn't care what I sounded like. I didn't know whether I sounded good or not. I just liked singing. But when I was in these moments where they'd sing the Titanic song, or they'd sing a Whitney Houston song, something would shift in me. And I think at that moment, you hear God just tell you "This is for you," and I kind of let that simmer. And eventually, once I hit high school, in primary school, I had a friend that told me, "Okay, you have a good voice," and so it just rang in my head. So I didn't stop. It actually made me sing even more. And in high school, I joined the choir. And it was when I joined the choir, and the first song that they sang, I got a solo part. So that kind of affirmed me in a way, or in a sense, to think that maybe there's something special, because 4 people were chosen for a solo. And since then, I've just been making music. In university, I actually was pursuing drama. But obviously, once I moved to studying psychology, I couldn't really be fully invested in that, so I decided to just pursue music, because that was a stronger calling for me, and my biggest passion. So I pursued it, I studied, and I worked for a bit, but I knew the music was in my soul. So it actually started off very weird. In the beginning, I was super shy. So in the early days, I had no producers. I didn't know it was actually so easy to get beats back then. It was a super struggle for me. So I bought beats online, and I would record it with Teabag. And I had my process was to write at home, go there, record, you know. And as time went by, like I started meeting more producers, and I started practicing writing in studio, because I was the type to go to like the studio and be like, can you bounce that beat? Because I would not write in studio. But the practicing of writing in studio, as nervous as I was, I kind of got used to it. So fast forward to now, I still won't freestyle because I don't like freestyling, but I love a beat to play. If you loop each section, if you loop a verse, I can write really quick. If you give me a time limit, I could probably handle, but I prefer writing in studio now. Now you won't find me writing, like I'm not a big fan of writing at home. I'd rather be in the studio writing to the beat rather than take the beat home and write. However, if there's these moments that I have where like I have a song that drops in my spirit and then I'm like, oh my goodness, okay, I just have to just write it down. So I usually do that, and that's where it kind of gets complicated for the engineer or producer, because he has to create a beat for my lyrics. And at that point, it's like not something that I just came up with. It's something that like I feel like in my spirit I need to like pour out. So it's very rare that we do that, because mostly the beat comes first. But in some instances, I do write first and then the beat comes after. But my preference and my comfort zone is to loop the beat, let me write, and yeah, I'll create something. So firstly, my whole body was just like, oh my goodness, I have to stay at home. Because like, I literally used to spend like 80% of my time, okay, apart from work, I used to spend the bulk of my time in the studio. So I was just like, how am I gonna do this? And someone told me about BandLab. It was an app where you record your vocals. So I have an iPhone, which kind of helped with the BandLab app because the quality was just way better. You wouldn't even say really, unless you're like some engineer that knows what it sounds like. You wouldn't say that it wasn't recorded in the studio, especially with the way Neo mixes. So I sent it through to Neo, he mixed it, he sent it back, because in lockdown there was like 101 challenges. And I think I took part in like a lot of challenges. I actually made it to like a few, but you know when they narrow it down to like the top 10 and stuff, I made it. I like ended up getting a shout out from Questa and stuff like that. So it was pretty dope. It was like random experiences that even though for some competitions I didn't make it, we didn't, our motto was no excuses. We're gonna handle regardless of the circumstance, because as an artist that's emerging, the last thing you wanna do is keep quiet on social media, because if you're quiet, they're gonna forget about you. So you have to stay relevant and you have to keep the content coming. So we were just trying to, even like I'm not a rapper, and I will never claim to be a rapper, but like there were hip hop beats and there was some shade. Some people were like, oh, this is not hip hop. When I made it to the ganja beats, but it was the finals. But I was like, don't hate, because I made the effort to like sing rap for this just to be a part of it. You know, we have to put ourselves out there and shoot our shots, because if we don't, no one's gonna do it for us. There's no excuses, especially as an independent artist. As the wise Rihanna said, people are gonna talk whether you're doing bad or good. So, like, whether you're doing good, they're still gonna talk. Whether you're doing bad, they're still gonna talk. So it actually doesn't matter what people say. I'm a very emotional being, so sometimes it does touch my heart, but like, I just have to be like, no. You know, the people that I love and care for me, their opinions matter the most. The other people, the fact that you took the time out to watch or even listen to my stuff and you have something bad to say, it means you care. So if I had 24 hours left to live, irony, it's Thanksgiving month, but I would literally like have like a Thanksgiving in the sense that table, my favorite food with the people that I love the most. So my family and my person, you know, and my sibling, my dog. Why am I calling my dog my sibling? Because he is like my sibling. Yeah, my dog Boaz. So it'll just be like, just family and the people that I love the most in the world in one room, eating my favorite food, probably listening to my favorite music. Yeah, because, yeah, that's it. I don't think I'd want to go out without the people that I love around me. So, yeah, just all the people I love in one room, people that have contributed to my life. That would mean the most to me in the last 24 hours. Or maybe at the end of the 24 hours, like, I could, like, no, actually, after I die, can you just like sprinkle me over the ocean? That's sprinkle the romance. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I would just want to eat my favorite food with the people that I love the most.